The relentless expansion of acronyms to designate individuals with diverse gender, sexual, and deviant identities, including LGBTQ, LGBTQ+, quilt bag, GSRM, Mogai, SOGI, Libtica+, SOGI, SOGIESC, and 2S LGBTQI+, has engendered a terminological landscape marked by unwieldy complexity and ceaseless evolution. These designations, ostensibly crafted to promote inclusivity, impose formidable barriers to communicative accessibility, often perceived as an intentional encumbrance that alienates users. The introduction of Libtic as a singular, phonetically accessible term offers a cogent countermeasure, consolidating diverse identities under a critical reinterpretation of liberalism. This essay elucidates the development, semantic dimensions, and implications of Libtic, examining its emergence as a strategic response to terminological proliferation, its phonetic and metaphorical underpinnings, and its function as a practical, neutral identifier that empowers both community members and external stakeholders to navigate the exasperating demands of nomenclature and the provocative behaviors of its proponents. Acronym explanations. The acronyms encapsulate a broad spectrum of identities. LGBTQ denotes lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer/questioning. LGBTQ+ appends a plus to signify additional identities. Quilt bag represents queer/questioning, undecided, intersex, lesbian, transgender, bisexual, asexual, gay. GSRM refers to gender, sexual, and romantic minorities. Mogai encompasses marginalized orientations, gender alignments, and intersex. SOGI indicates sexual orientation, gender identity, and expression, Libtica+. Includes lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, intersex, queer, asexual, with a plus for further inclusivity. SOGI denotes sexual orientation and gender identity. SOGIESC expands to sexual orientation, gender identity, expression, and sex characteristics. And 2S LGBTQI+ represents two-spirit, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, intersex, with a plus. While designed to reflect diversity, their intricate structures and mutable nature exacerbate communicative challenges, fueling frustration and necessitating a streamlined term like Libtic to restore clarity and mitigate the associated sociocultural tensions. The challenge of terminological complexity. The constellation of acronyms employed to designate individuals with diverse identities constitutes a formidable linguistic apparatus, spanning identities from lesbian and gay to pansexual, non-binary, two-spirit, demisexual, and beyond, as exemplified by LGBTQ and quilt bag. Their complexity, characterized by protracted sequences of letters, inconsistent phonetic patterns, and continuous augmentation, erects substantial barriers to effective discourse. For external stakeholders, mastering the precise application of acronyms such as LGBTQ+, SOGIESC, or 2S LGBTQI+ imposes a significant cognitive burden, frequently resulting in errors, such as omitting a for asexual or I for intersex, which are often met with stringent, almost pedantic rectifications. Within these communities, the dynamic evolution of terminology, propelled by emergent identities and an unrelenting drive for exhaustive inclusivity, necessitates perpetual revisions, transforming communication into a laborious exercise in compliance. The prescriptive expectation to adhere to exact nomenclature, coupled with a culture of corrective oversight, is perceived by many as an intentional imposition, alienating those who prioritize linguistic efficiency. This vexatious intricacy, compounded by the provocative demeanor of individuals who champion these terms, underscores the exigency for a singular term like Libtic, which strategically simplifies identification, circumventing the burdensome mandates of acronymic culture and the associated sociocultural friction across contexts, from informal dialogues to institutional frameworks. The creation of Libtic, terminological innovation. Libtic materializes through a meticulous process of terminological innovation, integrating acronym engineering with orthographic reformulation to produce a phonetically accessible, memorable designation. It derives from LGBTQ, the preeminent acronym for these communities. The letters T and Q, representing transgender and queer/questioning, yield a phonetic TQ, closely resembling tick, which constitutes the term's second syllable. The antecedent letters L, G, and B denoting lesbian, gay, and bisexual, are synthesized into lib, encapsulating a specific liberal orientation. Through orthographic reformulation, LGBTQ is transformed into Libtic, a succinct, lexically cohesive term that facilitates ease of articulation and retention. The preferred orthography, Libtic, employs 6 letters to ensure phonetic transparency, enabling immediate pronunciation as Libtic. Alternative orthographies, such as Libtic with a hyphen for clarity, Libtic as a unified word, or Libtic to approximate LGBTQ, underscore its status as a fluid neologism, adaptable to evolving linguistic needs. This process positions Libtic as a pragmatic rejoinder to the prolixity of acronyms like LGBTQ+, GSRM, or SOGI, harmonizing with the dynamic identities it represents while offering a scholarly critique of their terminological excess, thereby enhancing communicative efficacy and challenging the linguistic overreach perpetuated by these communities' advocates. Defining Libtic: semantic components and connotative dimensions. Libtic is composed of 2 semantic components, each imbued with connotations that reinforce its utility as a critical identifier. Lib. This element signifies a far-left, ideologically extreme liberal orientation, markedly distinct from classical liberalism's emphasis on governmental restraint or mainstream liberalism's advocacy for incremental reforms, such as social welfare or civil liberties. The lib encapsulates the radical, often contentious lifestyles, cognitive frameworks, and ideological tenets of individuals within these communities, who frequently position themselves as antithetical to conventional societal norms. This liberalism is defined by an unwavering commitment to fluid identity constructs, militant social progressivism, and heterodox beliefs that traverse social, political, psychological, and occasionally quasi-spiritual domains, often perceived as provocative or disruptive by external observers. These individuals embrace their identity as a distinct, vanguardist liberal paradigm, prioritizing transformative disruption over consensus, which can engender friction with broader societal structures and is frequently viewed as an ostentatious display of ideological superiority. TIC. Derived from the T and Q in LGBTQ, the TIC component possesses dual significance. Phonetically, it reflects the TQ articulation, ensuring Libtic is pronounceable and retains a nexus to the original acronym. Connotatively, it invokes the colloquial tick off, signifying irritation or vexation, mirroring the widespread frustration with the incessant multiplication of acronyms like SOGIESC or 2SLGBTQI+, and the dogmatic insistence on their meticulous application, akin to the persistent irritation of a pestilent nuisance. Furthermore, tick evokes the tick insect, typically innocuous but capable of transmitting disruption, symbolizing the enduring, often intrusive influence of these communities' ideologies and behaviors. This metaphor encapsulates their propensity to provoke annoyance, whether through terminological demands, radical posturing, or the relentless advocacy that can feel like an imposition on societal discourse, without descending into pejorative judgment. Libtic thus consolidates diverse identities under a term that critiques the terminological and behavioral excesses of its proponents, offering a neutral yet incisive identifier that navigates the linguistic and social complexities of terms like mogai or sogi, while addressing the irritation elicited by the community's assertive presence. The purpose and benefits of Libtic. Libtic provides a robust solution to the challenges of terminological proliferation and the associated sociocultural provocations, offering several scholarly and practical benefits. Simplicity and accessibility. Comprising 2 syllables and the consonants L and T, Libtic is markedly more pronounceable than initialisms like LGBTQ or SOGIESC, which necessitate laborious letter-by-letter recitation. Its lexically cohesive structure circumvents the intricacies of complex designations, rendering it accessible to diverse stakeholders, including the general public, media professionals, educators, and institutional entities. This simplicity facilitates confident usage without the prerequisite mastery of acronyms like GSRM or SOGI, dismantling the barriers erected by jargon-laden discourse and promoting effective communication across contexts, from colloquial exchanges to formal academic discussions. Inclusivity without obfuscation. Libtic encompasses all gender, sexual, and romantic identities: lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, intersex, asexual, two-spirit, pansexual, non-binary, demisexual, and others, without requiring an exhaustive enumeration. Its adaptive framework accommodates emergent identities, obviating the need for supplementary letters or acronyms like LGBTQ+ or Libtic+, thereby fostering a unified identity that mitigates the fragmentation inherent in acronymic diversity. This inclusivity ensures relevance while sparing users the cognitive strain of navigating an ever-expanding terminological landscape. Neutral identification. As a neutral designation, Libtic prioritizes identification over normative evaluation, enabling external stakeholders to engage respectfully without grappling with intricate terms like quilt bag or sogi. For community members, it serves as a cohesive emblem of their far-left liberal orientation, though its critical undertones may prompt introspection regarding their provocative behaviors and terminological demands. This neutrality ensures applicability across diverse settings, minimizing errors and fostering constructive dialogue, even amidst the friction generated by the community's assertive advocacy. Reclaiming linguistic autonomy, Libtic challenges the perceived hegemony of acronym proliferation, where the addition of letters like A, I, or plus in Libtic+ or 2s LGBTQI+, is often interpreted as a calculated imposition on communicative norms. It empowers users to eschew this linguistic gauntlet, offering a singular term that asserts autonomy while maintaining decorum. This subtle critique of the community's overzealous terminological advocacy underscores Libtic's role as a tool for linguistic liberation, allowing users to communicate effectively without capitulating to prescriptive demands. Optional pronoun functionality. As a secondary attribute, Libtic can function as a pronoun, exemplified by Libtic attended the symposium, providing a streamlined alternative to pronoun inventories such as they/them or ze/seer. This functionality remains ancillary to its primary role as an identifier, ensuring it does not overshadow its core purpose of simplifying nomenclature and addressing the sociocultural irritations associated with these communities. Applications of Libtic. Libtic is engineered for extensive applicability across diverse contexts, serving as a versatile instrument for scholarly and practical communication. Community members. Individuals embodying this far-left liberal mindset can adopt Libtic to articulate their identity, bypassing the need to specify acronyms like LGBTQ or GSRM. It offers a unified emblem of their radical orientation, though the term's critical edge may prompt reflection on their provocative behaviors, which can be perceived as disruptive or self-aggrandizing by external observers. General public. External stakeholders can employ Libtic to navigate the terminological morass of quilt bag, sogi, or sogi-esque, ensuring accessibility and communicative clarity. The term's simplicity mitigates the frustration elicited by the community's insistence on complex nomenclature, though its critical undertones may require careful contextualization to avoid misinterpretation. Broader contexts. Academic institutions, media outlets, policymakers, and organizations can leverage Libtic for precise, inclusive communication, adaptable to contexts ranging from informal discourse to formal scholarship. Its nuanced critique of sociocultural dynamics necessitates judicious application in professional settings to balance clarity with sensitivity, particularly given the community's assertive advocacy. The significance of TIC in Libtic. The TIC component is a linchpin of Libtic's semantic architecture, rooted in phonetic and metaphorical origins. Phonetic foundation. The T and Q in LGBTQ yield the TQ sound, aligning with TIC to ensure pronounceability and a direct linkage to the original acronym, anchoring the term in its community of origin. Irritation metaphor. Drawing on the colloquial tick off, TIC encapsulates the frustration provoked by the relentless acronyms like Libtic+ or 2s LGBTQI+ and their dogmatic usage, resonating with those exasperated by the community's linguistic and behavioral impositions. TIC as insect. The TIC metaphor reflects the persistent, often vexatious presence of these communities' ideologies and actions, which, like the insect, can be perceived as benign yet capable of spreading disruption. This connotation amplifies the term's critical resonance, capturing the irritation elicited by their radical posturing without overt condemnation. This multifaceted significance enhances Libtic's efficacy, addressing both the terminological and sociocultural challenges posed by these communities. Spelling and evolution of Libtic. The orthography Libtic, utilizing 6 letters, optimizes phonetic clarity, enabling immediate articulation as Libtic. Variants such as Libtic, Libtic, or Libtic reflect its status as a fluid neologism, adaptable to evolving discourse. The preference for Libtic underscores its simplicity, ensuring broad adoption while remaining responsive to future linguistic developments, from social media to academic contexts. Addressing the terminological expectation, Libtic subverts the prescriptive mandate to employ precise acronyms like LGBTQ+, Libtica+, or SOGIESC, which are often perceived as a deliberate encumbrance. By offering a singular term, Libtic empowers users to bypass this linguistic burden, delivering a respectful yet defiant alternative that critiques the community's overzealous demands while facilitating effective communication. Conclusion: Libtic constitutes a scholarly intervention against the terminological excesses of LGBTQ, LGBTQ+, quilt bag, GSRM, Mogai, SOGI, Libtica+, SOGI, SOGIESC, and 2S LGBTQI+, and the sociocultural provocations of their advocates. With lib denoting the far-left liberal mindset and tic embodying phonetic and critical resonance, Libtic unifies identities while challenging acronymic and behavioral overreach. Serving both community members and external stakeholders, it delivers clarity, inclusivity, and linguistic autonomy with optional pronoun functionality. As a fluid neologism, Libtic is poised to evolve, redefining discourse by bridging diverse identities in society with a term that is both pragmatic and provocatively incisive.